The following show features stupid opinions and ideas from two idiot brothers who probably did little research and practiced zero due diligence on the topic at hand. The developers' opinions do not reflect the views of their employer, guests, sponsors, families, neighbors, or pets. If you do not like what they are saying and don't agree with their views or opinions, don't watch the show. We can promise we do not care. Welcome to the worst show on the internet.
We are live. Hello, Isaac.
Hey, everybody.
We were off for a week.
We were?
We've been here.
Moving into a new house.
I was hiking around Hocking Hills.
Getting a puppy. We were hiking around Hocking Hills with your wife.
Yeah, 12 miles on Tuesday. Wednesday, and 8 miles.
Come back to Hocking Hills, you're posting about how important dieting
And then I ate a whatchamacallit.
Just ate a whatchamacallit.
And for dinner I had conies.
all over the place. All over the place.
That's a fact. Everyone's like, I'm so proud of you. I was like chewing on a whatchamacallit walking in here.
While you were gone, though, we managed to get a new sponsor for the
I
podcast.
saw that. You want to do that?
So
Then we're going to introduce our guest. So hold tight. Okay, go ahead, Isaac.
So, new sponsor for the month of April through halfway through May is Breger Machine and Industrial Maintenance. So I talked to Kirk Breger, and he's offering 10% off first-time customers. He's basically a repair shop, machine shop. He'll do anything from a multi-million-dollar part that you might not be able to order online for like an old machine or something to just welding something on for a farmer. So, repair shop, newest sponsor, Breger Machine and Industrial Maintenance. Call them today.
Emails up there. Jim, you do a lot of welding?
I do, just in my spare time. I have the MIG welder in the garage.
Yeah, introduce go a little closer, pull a little closer there. Go ahead. Introduce yourself, sir.
So I'm Jim Melone. I am a Poland resident. I am running for judge in the Struthers Municipal Court. The court district covers Struthers, Poland, New Middletown, Springfield, and Lowville.
Cool. And where are you from originally?
Originally from Youngstown, Ohio.
Did you go to Youngstown? Where'd you go?
I was a South Sider until 6th grade.
Okay.
We moved to Boardman.
Okay.
So I graduated from Boardman High School.
When'd you graduate from Boardman?
In 1989.
89. When did Uncle Mark graduate? 80.
I don't know. That's a good question.
6, 84, 85.
Mark McHugh, football player.
Yeah, I think he was old. I think he was young. How old are you?
52.
Yeah, Uncle Mark's 56 or 7, so he would have been long gone then. Yeah, by then.
So basically, Jim wants to be the guy that you go to when you get a speed ticket. Is that what Jim's going to be?
That would be one of the things I would do, yes.
What else?
So Struthers Court is a municipal court. So it hears the first appearance on felony cases.
Okay.
So that's called a preliminary hearing. So if you're charged with a felony, you come to this court, and the court determines whether or not there's probable cause for the arrest.
Yeah.
If we find that there is, then it gets shipped downtown to the common police court.
Yeah.
Where I currently work.
So what do you? Okay, wait. So
we were talking about this today, actually.
Yeah, we sure were.
What is like? We were talking about this when we were filling out documents today. What is like the lowest thing of what's a felony?
Well, wait. Let's get where he's from. Let's get his background. Can we get his grab back first? So like.
You can ask boring questions, but okay, go on.
No, I know. We'll get into the boring stuff first. This is too early to pop into boring stuff. Where'd you go to college?
I went to Ohio University.
And then law school?
From Athens.
That's
and
it.
then law school at Cleveland Marshall College of Law.
Did you partake in the Halloween parties at Ohio University? Were there
Wait, is this being recorded?
It is. And like 30 people are watching. So you might want to be careful there.
Parties were sweet down at OU.
Yeah, he never did. He was studying the entire time.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun on Halloween down at OU.
His undergrad too. He had fun.
Yeah.
Undergrad.
Dude, I was
there.
there.
I'd be sitting here at that point.
Yeah, I was at a Halloween party when they brought out the horses and the gas.
Yeah, me too.
Right at 2 a.m. That's right.
It was the horses.
Yeah,
the horses.
right,
yeah. No, I went to Halloween there, and they had the horses and the gas, and I remember the streets were packed with people.
That was so much fun.
There was a guy dressed up as a Browns player that was face down in the street, and the horses were circling him, and there was just like gas going all around, and while everybody who's walking by is shouting, "Brownies, brownies, brownies, brownies."
Oh my gosh!
You know how sheep feel now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as your eyes are burning.
So you went, and then where'd you go to law school again?
Cleveland Marshall.
Cleveland Marshall.
State. Yes.
At Cleveland State.
Yes.
Okay. So then, and how long is law school?
3 years. If you're a full-time student, 3 years.
And did you do it in 3?
I did, yes.
Okay. And how hard is law school?
Scale of 1 to 10.
Well, I'll say this: as you figure it out, it gets easier.
Is it hard at first?
When you first get there?
Yeah.
It is overwhelming and crazy.
Why? Why so?
Because you get hit every day with reading of cases and then analyzing cases and breaking them down and having to be prepared to talk about and debate the cases in class the next day.
Yeah.
So when you're in law school, they go by what's called the Socratic method.
I've heard of this.
So what that means is, a professor doesn't just ask a random question about a case. It's one question after another. So the idea is that you have to break down a case into its pieces and then build it back so that it makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a completely different way of thinking about an issue or a problem. And that's what they train you. So in law school, even more than the cases that they teach you and the law that they teach you, it's how they train you to think about an issue that's so different. So it's tough at first because you don't have any experience in thinking that way.
Right.
So you just don't know how to do it.
So they almost
and then as you get better at
it, they almost re-trigger your brain to
absolutely
wow,
like
rewire.
You go in, they break you down first.
Yeah.
They make you feel like you're completely worthless.
Yeah.
And then they build you back up into a machine.
Huh.
That's law school.
There you go, Isaac.
Interesting.
What? I don't know. I just know your little brain's working over there about lawyer questions.
I have so many lawyers.
I just know it's gonna happen. Let's see here.
So do we jump right into it, or do you want to ease into that?
Look, well, you go. I'm just gonna.
You just sit there.
Like, I should have made a list of my questions, but I'm like ready to fire off. But
we've had. I think he's our second attorney in here.
Yeah.
We've had Chip in here.
Yeah.
Attorney Comstock.
Great guy, great lawyer.
Right. He's defended me a couple times. No, not defended me. He's helped me with some law stuff. Oh, somebody says you're so smart. Kim McCauley says Jim is so smart.
I don't know Kim at all, but I thank you, Kim. I appreciate that.
And Jose Sanchez, he's a sheriff, or is he retired? He's a retired sheriff.
No, he's
still sheriff. Yeah. Jose.
Wait, I mean, he's on vacation more than anybody I've ever met in my life.
He supports everything we do.
He brought us booze before. He's been at our Halloween. He was at our Halloween party.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to have fun, have Jose.
Oh man, yes, absolutely.
And somehow he always has the best seats to every concert. He always has a trip or a vacation that somehow gets comped.
Yeah,
I don't think he pays for anything.
Came to our Halloween party. Had one of the coolest costumes I've ever seen on somebody.
He did.
He had like a mask that would change. So
yeah. All right. So then you go to you graduate from law school.
Right.
Did you guys are we allowed to talk? Like, she's not there right now because we're not allowed to talk about her, but Mrs.
So I will tell you that my wife went to a different law school.
Okay.
And so you graduate law school in May, and then you take the bar exam in July.
Okay.
So from May until July, you're just studying for the bar exam.
Did you meet her while taking the bar exam?
Yes. So
seriously?
Yes.
In the class or in the testing? That'd be so awesome. Hey, baby, what's your answer?
I completely ignored the test, and I was like,
like hitting on her.
Well, there's some truth to that, actually. No, so they have classes to help you prepare for the bar exam.
Okay.
And we were both reps for the company that put on those classes. So we were sitting at the table checking people in, and then we got to know each other.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So was it?
And then find out that we're both in the same hometown.
Oh, really? Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome. And okay, so we got two attorneys then.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
That's
and
right.
Then so did you start your own practice then, or what goes on?
I did. So I always knew when I was in law school that I wanted to come back to Youngstown,
okay.
and I wanted to, hang my shingle and start practicing. And I did that. So after I passed the bar exam, I came back to Youngstown and literally was in my car, which was a white Sunfire, the worst car you can imagine. And I'm driving around town looking for an office, stopping in different places, knocking on the door and asking, any space available. And that's how I started.
Nice.
Really? And then did you take any cases, or how's that work?
My very first case was my brother's divorce.
Nice. Nice.
So I started in 1997. So if you look at my files, in 97-001
Yeah.
would be my brother's case.
Makes you feel good. I was 3.
And I was
Thank
graduated
you.
from high
Thank
school.
you.
Yeah, I do. Graduated high school.
Wow. And then okay, so then now you're a magistrate.
That's right.
So so you go
What
from
is a
being I don't even know, like
magistrate?
I hear magistrate and I think about like the people in England with like the white hair,
Yeah.
like the
I
wigs.
only
Like
bring
what,
that out for special.
is that it?
occasions.
Like,
It
yeah,
doesn't
it's-
come out much.
yeah. So what is a
So
magistrate?
a magistrate is a judicial officer that has power to hear cases through appointment by a judge.
Okay.
So I work down at the Common Pleas Court with Judge Anthony Diapolito.
Okay.
He was elected end of 2016 and began his term January 1, 2017.
Okay.
So that's when I started with him.
And
So
he
brought-
nominates you?
I'm sorry.
Like he nominates you, or how
Well,
does
he
that?
hires me.
Oh, he hires
Right.
you. Okay.
But then he refers cases to me, and that referral of cases from him gives me the authority to hear the cases.
I have a feeling I know what it means. The judge doesn't want to do it, so they nominate a magistrate to do it for him.
So
Just like O'Keefe,
Yeah.
you don't want to do your loans, so you nominated O'Keefe to do it for you.
Never took a loan off
our
it, yeah.
judges are so busy hearing the criminal
I'm
cases.
very busy with loans.
That's right.
Yep.
They're so busy hearing the criminal cases
Uh-huh.
that they don't have time to hear the civil cases. So they bring on a magistrate, and we typically hear all the civil cases.
Okay, so let's talk about that again. We are so dumb to all this.
Okay.
Civil case.
So criminal case, of course,
I-
you commit a crime.
I robbed a bank.
yeah,
criminal.
rob a bank, and you're going to end up in front of the judge to
That's
hear
a
that
felony.
case.
That's a
That
felony.
would be a felony.
Okay.
Correct. A civil case could be a medical malpractice case, a wrongful death case, a car accident case, a breach of contract.
What makes
case.
the difference between them then? I guess I can't.
Where's the line drawn
Yeah.
in the sand? I
Well,
guess.
a criminal
is my
case.
question.
Yeah.
A
earlier.
criminal case is something where you could face jail time
Oh.
for committing a crime.
Okay.
A civil case, there's no crime involved. You're not ever facing potential jail.
Okay. It's
So
money.
It's
money.
typically money.
Okay.
That's right,
Gotcha.
right.
Gotcha. All right. That makes sense. I never knew that. See, learning.
So the judge would argue that it should be, it's not a crime and it's a civil case rather than it being. Does that ever happen or no?
Like who? Yeah. Who determines?
Well, it's pretty clear what's criminal and what's civil.
Okay.
So a criminal case has a completely different path than a civil case.
okay.
So somebody goes out and is alleged to have committed a crime, that person would be indicted, or it would start in a municipal court where they would go through the preliminary hearing process.
Right.
Then it would be bound over to the Common Pleas Court.
Mhm.
It goes to the grand jury. The
Yep.
grand jury hears the evidence and determines whether there's enough evidence to pursue a criminal charge against that person.
Wow.
And if they do that, then that criminal case begins with an arraignment, and then they appear.
I need a flow chart.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. There's a long.
It's probably a good
process,
thing I don't know any of this really, because it
Yeah.
means I haven't been involved
That's
that much
right.
in the
That's right.
judicial system.
Yeah.
So okay.
So
And
I can go into great detail, but I don't want to bore
Yeah,
everybody.
no.
I don't want to bog you down.
I have-
with the
I have a good
details.
question.
go ahead. Ask cousin.
So
Go a little
married-
closer to your thing.
Married a judge. You guys are both lawyers.
Yes,
So you guys are both lawyers.
that's right.
Married for how many years now?
20,
Very
20,
nice.
yes.
Very nice. Love that. It seems like from talking to lawyers and being friends with lawyers and arguing with lawyers all the time as the MLO bros, it seems like judges like to carry over like their argumentative tactics into their real life and arguing with people. And it always seems like this structure of like, okay, in an argument, you give the other person nothing. Is there any tactics that they teach you in the lawyer
Wow.
school of like argumentative tactics? It just seems like whenever I'm arguing with a lawyer,
Yeah.
they go buy the book and it's just like give the opponent nothing. You shoot down everything they say. Never like I've never had an argument with a lawyer where the lawyer was like, Isaac, that's a great point. It's always all your points are
Right.
stupid. You make no sense at all. And this is why you're wrong. It's never like an actual discussion.
Well, I can tell you that I'm pretty much the opposite of that.
Okay.
So when I get home, I turn it off.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to fight.
And that's
or
what I was going to
debate
say.
or-
Yeah.
So
I
you
don't
bring that
wanna-
home
I
and
don't
you guys
wanna
are
do
both.
it. I don't.
You guys are both trying to lawyer each other
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
That is going to be a tough relationship.
Yeah, right.
No,
That's what I'm
no,
asking.
I honestly, I turn it off. I'm not looking to debate, and
Yeah.
you know, you kind of learn because sometimes you have unreasonable clients,
Yeah.
and you want to say, pick your battles. You know,
Yeah,
there's some that are willing to win, and there's
Yeah.
others that you just don't need to. And I get home and I find that most of them, I don't need to win.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Or, yeah. Right.
so-
Yeah. They get home and she's like,
Yeah.
you need to empty the dishwasher, honey. I will not.
Yeah.
Here's why. Here's all the
In
things
the
why.
case of Plessy versus Ferguson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. That is so funny. We got some comments here. You want to go through some comments?
Sure.
Lisa, I know her. Lisa Warmer says Jim is a class act. He was a great wrestling coach to the Poland youth, even better lawyer and magistrate. Fingers crossed for you, Jim. You deserve this, and hope all of Poland supports you. There you go.
No, thank you, Lisa.
Happy birthday, Isaac. Hope your big brother got you something nice. I didn't know.
Nutrition shake.
Or a nutrition shake.
Thanks, Jose.
Jim is the best.
Thanks, Ray.
Ray.
That's been great, man.
There you
He will
go.
make a wonderful judge.
Look at this backing
Mayor
here.
Cat.
Mayor Cat. It's Malone, right?
Maybe
Maloney
yes.
or Malone? I always
yes.
want to say Malone E because of the
Like
E.
baloney.
Like
Malone.
Malone is hands down the best choice for Struthers, Poland, Springfield, New Middletown, and Lowville. There are so many problems with the current judge that we could have a whole separate podcast about. We deserve better. We deserve someone with ethics, good morals, and character in the seat. Jim is that person. That's
That's saying something
is
there,
a
Mayor Cat.
backing there.
Listen,
Wow.
I think the world of Mayor Cat. And
She's
for her
all
to
right.
say that is just.
She's awesome. Mayor Cat is so awesome.
Cat, I'm kidding. Please don't drive here and kick my ass.
If there's, it's so tough to find politicians that do it for the right
Yes.
reasons
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time.
Yes.
And she does it every day because she loves the city of
Yeah.
Struthers.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So you can't find it.
Tell her.
And the way she handles any type of person who's might be bashing on Facebook, bashing
We had her on our
company,
show.
bashing
We had her on our
Mayor
show.
Cat. She'll be like, "Hey, I'm coming to see you tomorrow." She calls him. She drives to their house, sits down, and talks to them. That is the
So-
way you handle
Yeah.
situations
I'll
as a
tell
mayor.
you this.
Yeah, it's
Here-
great.
here's how she is loved in Struthers. So I do a lot of door to door
Yeah.
in my
Mhm.
campaigning. I knock on doors. They'll walk out and say, "I saw Cat like a post or something you put on Facebook." If Mayor Cat's with you, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't have to say anything, but
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate the support.
She literally, when we had her on, we were talking about, we had her and I forget that girl's name. The one that were like, they were doing like the rebuilding of Struthers or whatever. I
Yeah,
forget
and
her
Samantha,
name. Samantha.
yeah.
Yanucci or
Yeah.
And somebody was on there kind of complaining about some of the stuff going on or something like
Yeah.
Cat literally gets on text. I know her. Text is I'll be at your house tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's one of the only
like,
guests
what?
we've ever had on where it was a politician or a mayor that was like, okay, this person has this complaint. Let's talk about it. And she's like, oh, hey, I'm going to come see you tomorrow. I'll be at your
I've never
door at
seen
this
anybody do
time.
that,
And
yeah.
the only person who handles it like that, which is the way to do it.
Crazy.
You'd be amazed at how she knows everybody in that city.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see a name on a list, on a voting list or a walking list, and she can tell me, oh, that's so and so. They have
That's
kids in
amazing.
this
Yes,
grade, and,
yep.
and they're involved in this and that.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, holy cow!
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah.
she's definitely a friend of the show. She does awesome. So, and I'm going to say that after I said the earlier thing because she's going to be waiting outside and going to kick my freaking ass.
Yeah,
when I said
exactly.
when I said
Yeah.
she's all right.
She reminds us
like
of our sister.
Yeah, she's a
Deanna.
sister for
Yeah.
sure. So awesome. All right. So then the magistrate. So then the next step. Then so you become a magistrate.
yes.
Are you still practicing law while you're a magistrate or no?
because I'm a full-time magistrate, I don't have any private practice. I'm not
Okay.
allowed to.
All right, and then
So the goal of a magistrate is to eventually become judge, then, right? And by
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily?
So there are so down in the common police court in the general division, there's 5 of us.
Hmm.
So there's 5 general division judges, and there's 5 magistrates.
oh wow, okay,
And they're really good at what they do. I mean,
Yeah.
they've been doing it for a long time, and they're really good. And they just don't have aspirations to run for judge because. Listen, the campaign trail is not for the faint of heart.
yeah.
It's a lot of work, and some don't have any interest in doing that. And they're very happy with the positions they're in, and they make a career out of it.
What So you're campaigning now, right?
Yes.
What are you doing? You walking around, knocking on some doors?
Listen, so I'm very fortunate again. So Judge Eppolito, my boss,
Yeah.
has allowed me to use my vacation time so I can campaign full time.
Wow.
And he's covering my docket as as much as he can.
Yeah.
Dealing with the criminal side as well. So he's really helped me.
Yeah.
So he's not only a great boss, but a great friend.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate him. So as he's covering my docket while I'm off, I campaign from morning till night. I usually spend mornings doing all the administrative stuff and making phone calls and running here and there. And then in the afternoons, I hit the campaign trail. I'm off knocking on doors, going to events, meeting with people. I've been to the nursing homes, talking to different people. Just every day, it's something else.
Elderly vote smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is.
We're not making this up as we go.
No. It's smart. That's a good call.
Yeah,
That's a good call. So are you? Oh, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Are you a Republican or a Democrat?
I'm a Democrat.
Why would a judge? No, this isn't you.
No,
this isn't you.
I know what you're going to say,
Yeah.
and I
Why?
agree with you 100%.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that any judicial officer should sit as a Republican, a Democrat, or any other third party. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Good.
Our job is to interpret and apply the law.
Right.
So for us to sit as one party or the other doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Now, I think, and just so you know, in the fall, if I'm successful in the primary, in the fall, there's no party designation. So that's good at least.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, so only in the primary?
In the primary is there a
really?
designation. And then if you get past the primary, you just run.
Is there a
just by your
Republican primary for the judge?
Well, there's a Republican candidate.
Is there? I said that wrong. Yeah.
She's unopposed, so there's no Republican
So-
primaries.
So she will be running in the fall
That's right.
against whoever wins
Against
between
the
you and Leon.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. Wow. That's yeah. I never understood that because, like you said,
Because
it
you're
should
interpreting. You're not like you don't have an opinion or anything. It's really kind of just interpreting
be the law. Yeah.
But you know the law, you know the facts, you apply those facts to the law.
And that's
You
it.
render
Which is
Yeah.
a
what you
decision.
want as a judge. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'm not going to go in there and be like, "Hey, I got a speeding ticket. I'm a Democrat." Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the legislature's job.
Yeah, right,
They
yeah,
come up with the
exactly.
laws and we apply them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's see here.
I'm in.
He has a
Yeah.
plan and knows his other stuff to interpret and apply the law. I'm in. There you go. We got a vote. Jim Melone is the real deal. He's a great guy and will be an excellent judge. Awesome.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question? So
So we're here.
one of the things we've noticed, and I'm not going to say any
Uh-oh.
judge names or anything, but it might be the guy that you're running against. There seems to be sometimes, because remember we had a little bit of an issue, not an issue. It was a subject we were trying to cover.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Topic of
A topic of conversation with
Yes.
him. And I'm trying to remember what it was. It was,
A lawyer or someone got.
well, first off, it was the school buses.
Yes.
It started with the school buses. So we caught wind from a very reliable source involved that
So was it they were blown by the school buses?
people were blowing by the school buses. Okay. Pictures.
Sure.
Cops were then,
They had their stop sign out and people
Yep.
going around. them.
Cops were then
And they had
going,
the cameras on the buses.
and they were
property.
bussing the people.
Yes.
They were then going down to the court, and they were only getting like $150 fine or something like that for running, which is
When it should have
mind
been-
blowing to me because
When
they
it should have been what? Do you remember?
like $1,000 or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it exactly. And I did reach out to the judge, and of course, I never got a phone call back.
Yeah.
But I was kind of surprised. Like, as a judge, like, what determines you to when the state says it should be 1,000? What determines it to go lesser of the actual fine? Because we're talking about our kids. We're talking,
Right.
if my kid gets hit by a freaking guy that runs through a thing, and the fine or maybe does it a second time, and it was the first fine was only $100.
And
It's
so that
crazy.
people watching at home understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was a situation where it was a lawyer in the area.
No,
wasn't
this is
it?
different. This is different. We'll talk about that one next. This is just people. There were 5 or 6 people in the past year that had gotten busted and they only got $100 fine.
Oh,
This
okay.
is something totally separate.
Oh,
I'll tell you
okay.
what this
Yeah.
other one was.
So in fairness,
Yeah.
one, I don't know the facts of these cases.
Fair
so-
enough.
so
Yeah.
it wouldn't be fair to me to weigh in
Okay.
and say somebody did something right.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
wrong,
yeah, yeah.
Because I don't know the case.
Okay.
And what's really important is that when you have a case in front of you,
Mhm.
you're dealing with that case. Now, as a judge, you may have a general idea of what you do with
Yeah.
certain types of cases, but it's not our job to prejudge anything.
Okay.
So, in fairness to that,
Yeah,
court,
no,
whoever
that's
made
what
those
I want to hear.
decisions,
Yeah.
you have to take these on a case by case basis.
Awesome.
And hear the evidence and hear the facts of what happened that
Yeah.
day. You're going to look at that person and their driving record, and for instance,
Okay.
in those cases where sometimes you pass a bus.
Yeah.
The law gets really confusing when you have multiple lane roads and things like that.
Right.
And
Fair.
people aren't really sure as to what they can and can't do.
Yeah.
So, so it's hard to say in
Okay.
that situation.
That's good.
It was right or wrong.
Fair.
You
You got to look at each case.
That's
Would
individually.
you
That's fair.
take into account like, okay, this person has a great driving record. They've never had any kind of incident like this in the past. They were in a situation where there was a couple different lanes and they just, they didn't realize that there was even an issue with what they were doing versus someone who's just kind of being a jerk and knows it, has gotten in trouble for doing this thing in the past and is just gassing it through a
that's
stop
exactly
sign
my
like a
point.
jerk.
The facts of
Yeah.
that case will dictate how a
That
judge
makes
handles
sense.
it.
That makes sense.
So I certainly can't prejudge something that may come in front of me.
Yeah.
Right.
And two, it's just not fair to
That's
judge
fair.
what happened in court when I wasn't there and I don't know the facts.
Or
So it may have been the right result. It may have
Yeah.
not have been, but I can't say that.
Okay.
or case by case, it was a lawyer and the judge had lunch and went golfing with him the day before or something. I don't know.
So, what my younger brother is talking about here is there was another judge, or maybe the same judge in the Struthers court, that seemed to go very, very light on a political figure who got a DUI.
Very light.
Very light. And it seemed to be waved down, as in not a DUI. It was a moving violation, like cut down to a moving violation. It was in the newspaper. And again, we're not talking crap about the judge. And I know you're going to say the same thing we just said.
I'm going to.
Yeah, I know you are. I know.
It's really not appropriate for me
To talk about.
to comment on
Good
those
for
things,
you.
especially when
I appreciate
I
that.
wasn't there and I don't know the facts.
Okay.
Because it happens sometimes
Yeah.
where just because you're a public figure
Yeah.
doesn't mean you should be treated worse just because you happen to be a
That's a
public
good
figure.
argument, too.
I
You
would
know?
argue that you should be held to a higher standard,
That's
and
fair.
it just seemed super duper gross.
Well, in the court of public opinion, I agree with you. But when you're
Yeah.
in a court of
Court
law,
of public opinion.
everybody there has to be treated fairly and equally.
We've talked about that before. The court of we've talked about that with our friend Mr. Kent, Steve Kent, where they're saying he's innocent until proven guilty. Steve Kent, we're talking about the Austin Town trustee. Everybody's saying he's innocent until proven guilty. In a court of law, however, the court of public opinion is something totally different.
And the court of public opinion says, I don't want to be the guy who gets caught in the future defending the
I agree.
That's what the court of public
Yep,
opinion says.
I agree.
And my moral compass says.
I agree. Well, that's our long story.
But sometimes that's where it takes a
That's
a
interesting.
courageous judge who's going to say, I need to block all of that out.
Yeah.
I have to listen and look at this case and make a decision based upon what's in front of me. And I can't worry about what the newspaper's going
That's
to
got to
say
be hard,
or-
actually.
That's probably
It's-
really tough sometimes.
That's got to be super hard.
If you can't tune those things out and do your job,
Yeah.
then
Can't
you're
get
not,
like a
you're not
high
built
pro-
for that position.
Like a
Yeah.
high profile case, like a super high profile case where you have the news and stuff involved. I mean, that's going to be brutal.
Especially when you see the camera off to your
Yeah.
right and you know they're
Mm.
filming
Wow.
everything, and you have to say none of this can play a part in the decisions I make in this courtroom.
Wow.
It has to be based upon the arguments and the facts, and that's why we don't comment on cases.
Yeah.
That we don't. Well, we certainly don't comment on cases that are pending. of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
but we don't comment about cases that have happened or may happen in the future. because we don't know the facts and it's just unfair. So,
But don't you use the cases of the past to decide? Don't they use the cases of the past to judge the future?
well,
Isn't that how law works?
So that's case law precedent. So we look to precedent to help us interpret the laws and define the laws. So there may be an Ohio statute that says, is written out in 10 pages of legalese.
Yeah.
And then we say, well, how do we apply that? And then sometimes we look to the case law, and the case law will tell us, well, in this case, this line in the statute was interpreted to mean this.
Yeah.
And it helps us define certain things so that we can apply them. So we do use case law and precedent.
I remember from my one business law class in college.
Right.
I took a lot of classes and I don't remember anything. That's
Yeah.
bad. Oh, it's bad. Let's see here.
Well,
Okay.
and Andrea makes a great point.
Oh, hey, Andrea.
The news gets it wrong a lot, because what happens a lot is, you only get a snapshot of what's happening in the courtroom.
Right.
You don't always know the briefs that were filed, what the judge considered before taking the bench. When they only see that small part of it,
Right.
they may not know the entire case or what's going on.
And we we're not news. We put a spin on freaking everything. Let's be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, even the news, local, they put spin on stuff, and I don't even know if it's intentional or not. But you can see the spin sometimes, one way or another. And it's impossible for a human not to do that.
Or to draw attention, the spin to draw attention or
To
draw
the
clicks
article,
to the article
right,
or whatever.
right,
it may be.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I mean, so then as like a magistrate or as a judge, that's got to be hard too, because I always wondered that, your dad, I'm a dad, you get a case with kids or something like that, and you get this guy that's being accused of something horrible with children. Yeah, I mean, you want to
Right.
you got to.
You can't
It's
get emotional.
how can you not get emotional for that?
Yeah. Well, I'll say, as a criminal defense lawyer, there were certain cases that were tough to defend, and all my criminal defense friends, please forgive me, because everyone deserves deserves a lawyer. Everyone deserves a defense. It doesn't matter how horrific the crime seems.
Right.
But there are certain crimes that are tougher than others.
Do you ever turn down a case?
Yeah, you ever allowed to be like,
yeah,
I
I don't want.
that. That's
If you know,
Absolutely, you
if he's
can.
guilty as hell,
but
or
in fairness
he or she is
to the criminal defense lawyer,
Yeah.
you either have to believe in that or not. And sometimes it just doesn't matter how horrific the allegation is. You have to believe that everyone deserves a good defense, and be willing to do the work.
That is so hard. If you think somebody's guilty as hell, and you're still going to try and defend them.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a quick story. When I was a criminal defense lawyer, I'm representing a defendant who was charged with, I don't know how much I can say.
Yeah.
I don't know who's watching, but
Go.
some serious sexual offenses against children.
Okay.
They had the images on his computer,
Good boy.
and then was doing a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Just the worst of the worst. And I had to go to the prosecutor's office and view the images that were on his computer as part
Wow.
And as I'm flipping through, I see this young little redhead
Damn.
and looked just like my daughter. And it
Damn.
killed me.
Yeah.
There's been no case that has hit me like
Yeah.
that one. And I was done
Done.
for a week with that case.
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
put it away,
Wow.
not touch it, and,
Yeah.
and then go back to it.
In situations like that, where you said you have other lawyers in that same thing, defense lawyer. Oh my gosh, what am I trying to say here? But if they lose, but I'm sure they gain respect if you go into this case and it's almost unwinnable, but you still put up a good fight and you brought a good case to the table arguing for that person. You still probably gain respect in the courtroom from these other lawyers and from judges and stuff, right? I mean, they put up a good fight.
So what's important is, and listen, we have a defense bar in Mahoning County that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And we have some lawyers that I will put up against any lawyer in the country. I mean,
Okay.
we have some guys that are that good.
Probably.
and women. I'm sorry, excuse me.
You probably get a lot of practice in Youngstown defending people sometimes, right?
Right. But honestly, and they go in and they're swinging for the fences. I mean, they come up with arguments and defenses that you can't imagine that someone would come up with that. And they are just it's like magic, watching these guys do their work.
Yeah.
I've sat through and watched, some of my friends try cases, and I sit there in awe thinking, I do this, and I don't know if I could ever do it as well as he or she
like,
just
damn,
did it.
That's a good angle. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So, but it helps to watch and learn and get better.
Ooh, this is a good question. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. This is from Angel, and she was going to call in, but I think sorry, Angel. I think it's easier. I want to know Jim thoughts on family court corruption that is happening in Mahoning County Juvenile and Family Court with the current judge. I ask this to every judge and magistrate I come across and have an opportunity to ask because many of us parents in Mahoning County are having our families torn apart because of the judges and magistrates in the family court who decide where our children go strictly by the recommendation reports of the gals that are appointed to our custody cases. I don't know what that is, but we'll talk. Poor decisions lead into mental health issues with our children that sometimes lead our children into things such as depression, crime, or even addiction. I am undecided on my vote, but if Jim can give me a good opinion answer, I would not have one problem switching my ballot to a Democrat and vote for him. Again, this means a lot to the parents like myself who are suffering from a mess happening in the court. What's a gal?
I think she means guardian ad litem.
Okay.
GALS is
yeah.
short for guardian.
Yeah, she has it in all caps.
Right.
Okay.
So what happens when you have a custody case, the court sometimes appoints what's called a guardian ad litem, and that is a representative for the child.
Okay.
So if you have two parents that are fighting over custody of the child, and it seems as if the child needs his or her own representative, they appoint a guardian ad litem. So I think what the question is asking, I guess I have to choose my words carefully.
Yeah.
So I'll just say this. Those cases are extremely difficult. I know the judges and magistrates and a lot of the lawyers that act as guardian ad litems.
How was that person picked, too, by the way? Sorry to interrupt.
There's a list of guardian ad litems. After they go through a certain amount of training, they get certified as a guardian ad litem, and then the court just typically, I think, just goes down the list and picks, someone that would be appropriate for that case.
Man. Mm-hmm. So then the judge, so then the judge has to decide where the kids go.
In the end, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
But her argument was based off of the guardian ad litem or whatever it was, their opinions on the case. The judge hears them representing the kid. Do they get their information from the kid, or do they get their information collected from both parties?
So a guardian ad litem does a full investigation.
Okay.
So a good investigation from a guardian ad litem would be meeting with the child, typically, with the parents, with the child alone. You want to see the child interact with both parents, in their setting, either in their home or sometimes in the guardian's office. You want to go to the school and check school records. If they're involved in extracurriculars, you check those things out. So it's the guardian's job to get as full a picture of this child's life as possible.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on, and then based upon all that information, make a recommendation to the court as to how that guardian believes the court should go.
Angel doesn't like hers.
Angel does not like hers.
No.
Wow. Are they assigned from the court?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
That's tough.
That is some tough
That's real
stuff,
tough.
man.
Yeah.
And
But you have to remember, though, that the guardian's report and recommendation is only a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
The judge or the magistrate in the end has to make a decision based upon, again,
Everything.
all of the evidence.
Man.
They're going to hear from both parents. They're going to hear from the guardian ad litem. The lawyers or the parents themselves have the right to challenge the guardian's report, cross-examine the guardian as to how they came to their conclusions. And then after hearing everything, so it's the guardian's report is not a rubber stamp as to what the judge is going to do. It's one piece. and then the court makes a decision based upon all of the information and evidence.
I don't think I want to be a judge anymore.
I never wanted to.
It's
No, it's
Never wanted to.
ridiculous. Like a
Yeah.
lawyer, I think I can do a lawyer thing, but man, I don't think I can do the judge thing. Lawyer thing, I think I can handle. I'll
I'd
defend.
love to
somebody.
argue.
I'd love to argue. I'll argue with anybody.
Yeah.
so the I won't say the nice thing,
Yeah.
but at least the convenient part is when you're a lawyer, I mean, at least you have one obligation.
Yeah. Right.
Represent my client to the best of my ability to get a favorable outcome for my client.
Right.
For the judge or the magistrate, I have to hear everything.
Yeah, that's
I have
tough.
to take all of that information, all of that evidence, and apply it to the law and come up with what I believe to be the right decision.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's brutal.
then,
Steph.
and then have somebody look over your shoulder. If somebody objects to the decision, or it goes to the Court of Appeals,
Mhm.
and then you get second guessed as well.
Schuster and Hahn, lawyers at law.
Oh gosh, I would stay so far away from that.
Could you imagine stepping in that being lawyers?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh my gosh. No, we're not talking about other judges. We're not talking about other judges, Angel. We're not
Can we
doing
go to
it.
my question from earlier
Yeah, go
before we started the podcast today? So, in a familiar lawyer that we are in the Poland Village
that we've butted heads
that
with
we've
a couple
butted heads
times.
with, it just seems like there are and for my real estate investments, we have a lawyer there too. It just seems like a lawyer should play the role of the village council. They make all the rules in the village council does, but then they have this sitting lawyer that they hired, and it just seems like the village councilmen don't actually they don't actually make they make the laws, but they check everything with the lawyer first. So what's the point in having a council that makes decisions when they're going to check everything with the lawyer? And if the lawyer says yes or no on his word is basically God, because if he says yes or no for everything they do, then he's running the government. Shouldn't it be, this is what we're going to do. I want you to do everything possible, Mr. Solicitor, to make it work. Not, hey, can we do that? Yes or no? Because then they have absolute power. The same thing with my investment lawyer. It's like, hey, this is what we're doing. We're going, this is how the deal's going to work, and I need you to make that legal. Whereas the lawyer's trying to say, no, you should do it this way because this is the easiest way to do it. I don't care what the easiest way to do it is. I want you to make this work legally. If that makes
How
sense.
about that one?
Yeah, good question. What I would say is, what I would submit is that your private lawyer that's advising you and is giving you strategy on how to attain a goal, to reach an end.
Yeah.
You're paying that lawyer for that advice. Make this happen. Okay. An attorney in a public position is something that's completely different.
Yes.
Okay. So would you want, I would not want my council, my city councilmen or trustees or whatever the case may be, figuring out ways to strategize to get around the law. That's not what they're trying to do. If I'm going to propose some sort of legislation, I have to make sure that it meets constitutional muster, that it's not going to violate local codes and everything else. So you have to have that solicitor there telling you. So the solicitor isn't coming up with the idea. The solicitor is just saying,
yes,
okay, this is what you proposed.
Yeah.
Do I think that if you were successful in getting this passed, would it be legal to do that? And again, I don't think you want to ask your solicitor to say, figure out a way to get past the legalese and let's find a loophole so that we can get this through because this is our agenda.
Yeah.
You want them going to a solicitor saying, let's make sure everything is on the up and up and that we're not doing anything illegal because
we don't want to get sued.
We're the people's representatives.
Yeah.
It's not even being sued.
Yeah.
We're the people's representatives. We're here to follow we have an agenda, but we want to follow the law when we do that.
Yeah.
So going to your solicitor for legal advice is something that you want them to do.
So it's not a matter of him telling them what not to do. It's a matter of him saying what's legal and not legal.
Exactly. Now your private attorney,
Yeah.
yeah, you say, listen, I have an end game here that I want
Yeah.
to reach.
Yeah.
Find a way to get me there. That's what you're paying that person
Yeah,
by the
it's-
hour to do.
Yeah.
But when it's a solicitor or a
For a
prosecutor
government body.
for a government
Yeah.
body,
It's the same as like at the bank. So the bank, all the banks that I've worked at have always had lawyers, and they're always, it's the same thing there.
Yeah.
Like they always go
But it's
to the
always-
lawyers to see
right?
what, to make sure they're not breaking laws and they're not
But
getting
it
sued.
seems like it's always up for interpretation, and some people take it one way and others don't. Like, why are we not allowed to record meetings for whatever reason in the village, but then Struthers does it like it's no problem at all and has it on YouTube and does all these different things? It just seems like
That's an interpretation.
at the end of the day, it comes down to interpretation of this one person who is saying yes or no.
But then it's up to the council to say whether or not we're going to listen to that advice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think they make the final decision. So I get advice from the solicitor,
yes,
and then at that point they can say we're
Screw
going
it.
to follow that advice or we're
Yes.
not.
and
And then
yeah,
the response to that is at the ballot box. If you
Yes.
disagree with how your representatives are handling
Yeah.
meetings and things like that,
Yeah.
vote them out.
he has. I feel like that solicitor has convinced every single one of them that his word is God, and they listen to it. And those council members need to be voted out. And
Well,
there needs to be
I
more.
warned you. I
There needs
warned
to be
you.
more arguing with that solicitor because it drives me
I
crazy.
totally warned you before you came in here,
drives
Jim.
me crazy,
Oh.
crazy.
We're gonna get a cease and desist letter from the solicitor.
Yeah.
No, I warned you.
but there is certainly some value to seeking and following good legal advice.
Yeah.
Um,
Of course.
Dude, we call Chip all the time.
Yeah. Hey,
we-
Chip, can we get in trouble for this? That's like our class. Line. Hey, Chip, can we do ABC?
Uh-oh, we're getting notes flipped to us. Can you? Oh yeah. What was I gonna say? So yeah, we call Chip all the time.
Yeah.
And he was my neighbor. And
Okay.
when we started doing this, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna call you for stuff. And
that's
we're
a
like,
good call to make.
yeah, it is. I'm like, dude,
Right,
yeah,
right.
so we do call Chip. I mean, let's
Yeah,
be
of
honest.
course, right.
I'm like, and like with some of the stuff we're trying to do,
Yeah.
we always call him. Like, dude, are we gonna get sued? He's like, well, maybe.
It's either are we gonna get sued for this, or do you think we burn that thing down if we accidentally if we had
Yeah.
like our extension cords beyond this side?
It's
Would we
either
burn
fun-
that building down?
Or what's our defense if we do this anyway?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
How much exposure do we have?
Exactly.
That's a-
Sometimes
that's a good
there's a
one, too.
little exposure, and
Yeah.
I'll take the risk.
Yeah.
Or there's a lot of exposure, and I'm not going to do that.
Here's. Boy, they're all over this. What is your opinion, Jim, as to why no one is interested in running against current judge of our juvenile? I don't know if you want to take this one or not.
I don't.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, man. We are not covering that. The current juvenile justice center. You guys want to talk about that one sometime? We can. You guys want to message us? We'll cover that. Obviously, you guys are all fired up about it, and I don't know anything about that. Isaac, you don't either, right?
None.
So if you guys want to talk about that sometime, Jacob and Angel, message us, and we'll have a podcast on it because obviously
Yeah.
that's the
we
second.
don't know. We don't have any.
I don't know
information on
anything
it.
about it, and that's news. So Jake, if
I
you
don't have
want
any
to,
kids. Sorry.
yeah, message us, and I'll go after judges. I don't care. So go ahead, message us the info, and we'll get on it. We'll have a show. We have some openings coming up, so let us know. So okay, cool. Let's see here. What else we got?
I love how serious you are in this picture, Joe.
How about that, huh?
I love how serious.
Oh my
you are.
gosh, look at that picture.
How serious he is.
Look at how serious he is.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem, Jacob. Yeah, let us know.
Aw, your family's so cute.
Yeah, let us
Oh, thank you.
seriously message us, and we love talking about the kind of stuff. So how old are your kids? We got all kinds of paperwork and
So
stuff. there.
my son, who's a senior at Poland,
Did he play
is
football?
18.
No,
he did,
wrestling.
yes.
He did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
gonna
football,
say.
and now he's playing lacrosse.
Look, that's like
I
huge.
totally
Yeah.
would have played that.
That
Yeah.
the kids are playing
So,
that like
in
crazy
the
now.
So-
spring.
my
'cause we didn't
son-
have that as a spring.
Yeah.
Totally would.
My son started playing baseball when he was 4 years old, and has
Yeah.
played every year of his life
Mhm.
until his senior year in high school, where he decided he wanted to play lacrosse for his last sport.
Just now, just
This
no.
is-
So it's his first
Is he
year.
loving it?
He's having a blast. Yeah, and
Really?
it's such a cool sport.
Yeah.
I mean,
really
I
is.
listen. I love and miss baseball,
Yeah.
but lacrosse is really fun.
None of my kids are playing baseball, and I'm so happy with it.
Right.
So much time.
So boring.
I hate baseball. I like softball. I'll play softball all
Yeah.
day, but not
It's
baseball.
way more fun.
So and then you have does a sophomore play? Wait,
she's a cheerleader.
she's a
Sophia
cheerleader.
is a cheerleader.
Okay,
yes.
sorry. Yeah. So you
Yes.
got a cheerleader and
A former gymnast and a cheerleader.
You say her name
Awesome.
is Shelby?
Mia.
Mia.
wow.
Mateo,
Mateo.
Matteo,
Yes.
Mateo, and oh, there you go. Well,
Right.
cool. And what else? Anything else?
So I did bring some merch. I
I
thought
love merch.
I thought I'd have to give you this to go easy on
Absolutely.
me, but it's
Isaac.
okay.
Uh-oh, Luke.
So I have
Is there a
my,
double XL? Uh-oh.
It's just a single X. I was out of the double.
Isaac,
Looks like I got two
you got
shirts.
two shirts.
You know, we were going to just cut off the sleeves.
We
for
could
you.
do that. I might be
Yeah.
able to squeeze
Yeah.
into it.
So so this is my campaign T-shirt.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, Isaac,
I'll give a plug.
Here,
Yeah.
scoot it over
Here.
that way a little bit.
yeah,
so the
yeah,
camera
guys, get it on the camera there.
So the campaign T-shirts, made by Dane Dobson at A to Z Athletics at New Middletown. Dane has been printing shirts for us for years. You know, when I coached baseball and basketball teams,
Yeah.
when the kids were younger, Dane always did our shirts, and
Oh, absolutely.
he's still doing work for us. He's a great guy.
Awesome.
Let's see what else we have. We have the Malone
Do you have
for
hand
Judge
sanitizer?
hand sanitizer.
Oh gosh, add it to the
Yeah.
hand sanitizer. Oh, I like the blue though.
Wow.
That's cool.
So you guys
Oh, look, we got Valley
Goes
Insurance.
home.
Valley Insurance. Do
you
you
got
know
red,
Mayor Tim
yeah.
Sycophus? Do you know him? Do you know Mayor Tim?
I
You remember
pretend
him?
that I don't, but
Yeah,
I do.
I
Yes.
know, that guy's
no,
freaking-
Tim's a good friend.
He's
Yes.
freaking shady.
So on the campaign trail, the ladies love the
Oh!
files.
Isaac,
Oh,
bring
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 nice.
those home and
Nice.
That is one you
So,
don't see. You don't see nail files. I like that.
you know what? It never misses. If I
Yeah.
hand a nail file out to a lady on the campaign trail, immediately they go to filing their nail.
That's how I
It
start.
happens like clockwork. And then finally, we have some Giano's candy.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh!
first of
Oh!
Malone for Judge
Oh
labels.
gosh.
Look
Oh
at,
my gosh.
Look at this guy.
Yeah,
So do you hand these out when you walk around?
we do. Yes.
Graham
yes.
crackers? Oh, I'm bringing these
Yeah.
home. This is smart.
Yeah.
You got my vote.
So I kind of I stole the idea from Judge Anthony Diapolito.
Yeah.
In his campaign, he did the chocolate covered
Dude,
pretzels.
get off the pretzels.
And
Get
people-
off the
and
pretzels.
People went crazy over them. So I did steal
Isaac,
the idea.
get off the
Look at
pretzels.
what we have.
No, you took all the pretzels. Get off. Dude,
So
you're on
that's
a
my
diet.
merch.
You're on a diet.
I am. I'm just looking.
You
Gosh.
grab. Look at how you're holding all this. I know you're bringing this
Listen.
home. What's that? Oh yeah, Angel, stop it! Knock it off. No more comments. We're talking about
What do you want
Struthers
to talk
Court.
about in Struthers Court? You can have these.
You guys can argue about this later.
I'm taking these.
All right. Okay, so here's a good question. We're getting why does Jim think he is the best candidate for this job? Oh, this is a good elevator speech one here. Why do you think you're the best candidate for this job? And what will you bring to the Struthers Municipal Court?
chocolate covered graham cracker.
While I
So-
eat this chocolate covered, did you take what? You took the freaking pretzel.
What do you mean?
Oh my gosh.
Jim, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Jim. Sorry,
go ahead.
I'm gonna do this.
So I think the reason I'm running is that I believe that truly that I am the most qualified person for this job. Not only do I have 25 years plus as a licensed attorney, I have 6+ years as a magistrate. The Common Pleas Court is the highest trial court in the state. So we handle some of the biggest and most complicated cases that are out there. And I've been doing this for 6+ years. I run an efficient docket. So I am qualified and ready to do this work. If elected, God, that sounds
Yeah, right. If
Yeah,
elected.
If elected, my goal truly in Struthers Court is to make it a model court. I have high standards for myself, and I will have high standards for that court. I want it to run professionally, efficiently, with the highest level of decorum. When people are there, I want to make sure they understand that you're in court, and this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And that's the way it will be run. But even more important than that is to make sure that when people come in, I see it a lot when I'm in court, is that people come in and they're confused as to what's happening. They get frustrated because they don't feel like they're being heard and they're not getting their day in court, so to speak. So I make sure with every single case that I hear that, one, the parties understand what's going on in the courtroom, because not every hearing that you have in court is the big trial, is where we're going to make decisions about the case, how it resolves. So sometimes they have to understand that, today's hearing is a limited purpose. We're just going to deal with this today or whatever it is. So one, I make sure that litigants always know what they're dealing with and that on that particular day they were heard by the court. And that's important. And I have found that people, whether they win or lose, they don't know what it likes to lose, but win or lose, if they feel like they've been heard in court, it certainly lowers the frustration level.
Absolutely.
And so
I could see.
So I make sure every single day that I do that. So that's the way I want to run the courtroom. But beyond that, I want to make sure that the clerk's office and the staff that are there are the way they deal with the public. It will always be top-notch, friendly, efficient, not a waste of anybody's time. Just because you're there in court and you're required to be there doesn't mean you should be treated, horribly. So I still think you have to remember that we're there to serve the public, and every employee there will be reminded of that, and they will be expected to treat people that way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I want to be that person that the people in the court district are proud that I'm the face of that court. If I'm out at a judicial conference or I'm out somewhere, I want them to know that I'm going to represent the court well at all times. And
there you go.
And I want to be that person. So those are some of the reasons I'm running and why I think that I'm ready to do so.
I
Awesome.
respect that.
Very good,
Absolutely.
Christina. That was a good one. Good elevator speech for sure, Jim.
Thank you.
Real fast. Like I like your point. It's and it immediately pops into like my head with our jobs being loan officers. People only get a loan for a house once, twice, maybe 3 times in their entire life. How many times are you in court? Right? You're not. It's not a normal thing.
Most people, right? It's
most people.
Right.
Yeah, most people.
You have the repeats, but,
right?
But for the most part, you're there once or twice in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't have to be a horrible experience.
Right. Exactly.
And I could see it being truly frustrating and you might not know what's going on because you don't go into it.
We didn't know. We just went over. We had no idea what any of this stuff was.
Yes.
I mean,
and just like you said, going through the loan process, I'm sure it's a lot, and there's a lot of moving parts, and the average person just doesn't know about it.
Christina says, I can't wait to work with you. I don't know what she does. You know her? Christine Jackson? She says, can't wait to work with
the city of Struthers. Yes.
Oh, I was going to say, it's either that or she's one of the people that go to court all the time. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Christina.
Thank you, because I appreciate that.
And then Angela says, known him for a long time. He is. There you go. Angela, correct. Thank you. Awesome. Well, okay. So this is good. This was a good one. So you got my vote,
So
sir.
you notice I didn't dodge one question.
You did very good.
Yeah.
No, you did good. You did good. Even Isaac, you didn't do too bad either. I thought you were going to be
well behaved.
You were
I was expecting a lot more.
Yeah, you're really,
I'm really
good.
not that.
Come on,
bad.
give me your toughest.
If we had Jay on,
Just kidding.
So you want to hear my argument
oh
for
boy,
why I think
I need some
lawyers
more.
are frustrated?
I need some more chocolate.
Why did
It's
we egg them on,
because-
right?
Why would you even ask this? Now I gotta eat another piece of
It's
chocolate.
because it just seems
How good
like
is that?
Yeah,
The
that's
best
good.
chocolate, the best
the
chocolate.
chocolate covered
Yes.
graham crackers.
Oh,
Don't
they're
sleep
so
on
good.
chocolate covered graham crackers.
Oh, they're so good.
But it just seems like with lawyers that I get
Oh.
frustrated.
You
They're just
have
like
lawyers
back
in
to
the
the
room.
argumentative tactics. It just they like give you nothing when you get into an argument with a lawyer. And it's like I feel like you're just trying to buy the book me right now. Like, can you please just have a conversation with me and not try and like destroy my case, so to speak?
It sounds like you're frustrated because you lose arguments with lawyers.
No.
Okay,
Like
fine.
I don't even want to argue with a lawyer because it's not like I'm not trying to attack you. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. And it's like turns into an argument, and it's just like, okay, if you're gonna
turn it off. Turn
yeah,
it off.
yeah,
right?
turn it off. Like, don't argue. Like, I'm just trying to have a conversation with you, and then it's like, okay, you're
That was-
turning into from
The whole
like,
thing is.
it's
I know who
kind
you're
of a
talking about, and you
jerk
never
face
should have engaged him on Facebook.
I don't.
Well, you don't anymore because we kicked him out of the Facebook group.
Yeah. but I just feel like it
Just saying.
I'm not saying all lawyers are jerks. I'm just saying there are some jerks that are lawyers.
Oh,
That's all I'm trying to say.
Until you need one, right?
yeah.
Until
Until
you
you
need
need
right.
one.
Yes. Until I need
It's
one.
wait until we get sued, and he's going to be the judge, and Chip's going to be the lawyer.
Jim, hey buddy, how's it going, buddy? So we got in trouble. We need again.
Hey, Jim. Hey, buddy. Hey, Jim. Jim,
Remember all those mean things I said about lawyers?
I'm just going to put these chocolates right on your desk.
Jim, really could use your help here, buddy.
We can wear
Really,
we'll wear our shirts.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Vote for Jim Melone, Wendy. Okay. So
Here, you can have one of these, Luke. You can have
the dark chocolate one. All right, thank you. Don't give this back. Okay. So, anyways, before Jim goes, Thursday. Speaking about lawyers and lawsuits and attorneys, we are going to have. Have you heard about the deer thing going on in Mill Creek Park?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
That'll probably be seen by a judge eventually, I would assume. I don't know.
Probably make it to the court.
Right. The deer thing. So for those of you watching at home, there is if you're living under a rock, the Mill Creek Park board and director have decided to call and have hunts in Mill Creek Park because there's too many deer. We are having the executive director, Aaron Young, on our show from Mill Creek Park. And he's going to talk about the park, I'm sure we're going to talk about the deer and go from there. There was like a riot on Facebook about these deer. I don't know if you've seen any of that.
I have. And this is a situation that could end up in the common pleas court, so I'm not going to make any comment.
Yeah, right. It could, right? I mean, 100%
Absolutely
it could.
it can.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's no doubt. So yeah, no comments on that one.
Right.
But he'll be here on Thursday, and I'm curious. We hear all these. I'm going to call it crazy people on Facebook about these freaking deer. And I don't know.
Who did we have on not last week, but the week before?
Dennis Malloy, the
Denny
commissioner,
Malloy.
who said the
His
survey was
point
wrong.
about, hey, you need to read. I'm with him on that.
Oh, I think
you need to redo the survey.
Yeah, but I think even if the survey comes in lower and you said, hey, we got to take out deer anyways, those people are still going to be fighting left and right for the deer.
Of course.
The crazy tree hugger deer people. So sorry if you guys like deer. It's my fault. Okay. So then
So we talked to him on Thursday.
which
Okay,
should be
guy.
very
The
insane.
botanist, right?
He is a landscaper. He's the executive director, but he graduated with landscaping and stuff. So one of
You
the
can
theories
see
is
why he doesn't like deer, though. 'Cause
exactly
They eat flowers, so it makes sense.
does.
I mean, I get it.
There you go. You're just being a nice little judge already, aren't you? Like
I'm trying.
looking at the case.
I'm trying to take in all sides.
All
of
right.
this.
So
Not get emotional about it like somebody else who's a hunter.
it's just,
How much more time do we have?
We're
Like
good.
we've been on it for like 10 minutes.
No, it's been an hour and 5.
Holy cow.
What else you want to talk
I
about?
feel like we just started.
Dude, we can keep going. It's been an hour. And then I don't know what else we have next week. I don't know. Is that it, Isaac? Let's
All the chocolate covered graham.
Oh, they're so good.
Aren't they delicious?
You know who's coming on?
Who?
Another big Poland name. Probably a little bit. No offense, Jim. Probably a little bit bigger than you. The new dog,
Oh,
Pogo.
Pogo.
He
yeah.
gets it.
Huh?
He gets it. Why it's a bigger deal.
He did. Pogo.
Everybody loves.
I was there
dogs.
for his swearing in.
Yeah, Pogo's
what,
coming.
what a cool event.
Yeah, Pogo is
Chief
coming
Wilson.
on.
How nice is Pogo? Is he gonna like?
I don't know if they're gonna like see some German command. He's gonna rip my face off. Or what. I don't know how that works. But yeah, Pogo the dog and his handlers coming in here.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
you
that's
should bring
gonna
your
be
new puppy
cool.
and see what happens.
I don't want to do that.
Okay, so Pogo's coming
I'm
in.
glad I'm not competing with Pogos that night.
Yeah,
Alright.
no,
Yeah.
no. And then Thursday, maybe we can talk about that. So that's it. Yeah, that's what we got. And then we head into May and we'll getting closer to our event. So
Yep.
that's it. All right. What else? Anything else you want to talk about? Huh?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
May 2nd?
So election day
Oh,
is May 2nd.
okay.
It's the date of the primary. So you can vote early by absentee. Or
That
vote-
would only Democrats will be voting, right? For you.
well, anybody that fills
How's it work?
yeah. So anybody can pull a ballot for whichever party
Okay.
that you feel affiliated with.
Yeah.
So you can always change and go back. It's up to you.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can request an absentee ballot. You can go to the polls on the 2nd, or you can go down to the Board of Elections and vote early.
Okay. There you go. And that's May 2nd.
Yes.
Are you gonna vote? Primary stuff.
I don't want to vote if I'm gonna get move from being
An independent. Is that how that works?
So,
Don't if we pull Democrat or Republican, then we are.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, see, I don't want to do that
I'm
either.
not doing that.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, buddy.
I appreciate the support.
I'll vote.
Guys.
No, absolutely. We're trying to get word out here, but I'm not getting into a category.
The Democrat Republican thing is a hard point for both of us.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
We and not just with judges, like with everything, and we've been staunch on that.
So and I keep reminding people that
Yeah.
let's not let the crazy national politics
Yes.
Yeah.
infiltrate into local politics.
But they
Because-
do though.
well,
It does.
Why
should
can't
they, though?
No.
I mean, honestly, when you're here locally,
Yeah.
and you know people, you see them face to face, and you talk to them,
Yep.
you decide this is a person that I like and trust and want in that position,
Yes.
or not.
So-
The people you see on the national news,
Yeah.
you don't get that opportunity.
But
it's different.
Why am I as an independent not allowed to go vote for somebody that I think would fill the spot perfectly, and it has nothing, that position has nothing to do with politics, but I can't do it without being labeled a Democrat? That's not right,
not right.
in my
I agree.
opinion.
I just
you can certainly do that in the general election.
Yeah.
but-
which is what we're gonna. Yeah.
you-
But you got to make it there first,
oh,
right?
sure,
Which
absolutely.
isn't
Yeah.
right. I don't think
Right.
that's right.
I guess it's more. It's a thing for us though, because I like we are just in the more we've done this so we've done this podcast now for 3 years, and we've talked to so many politicians, Republican, Democrat, Independent. We had Angaro on. We were big supporters of Angaro, and we vote based on who we like, not the letter that is in front of them.
Not even but who
We agree with,
more,
right?
Yeah, not
And
buddies
and the
with.
problem
Yeah.
that we see is that the different parties, like the political parties, control so much stuff, and they you can see how they just
manipulate
the stuff, and I can't
Yeah.
I
How
can't
gross
do
it
it.
is.
I can't do it.
So in the county court,
Yeah.
they don't have a primary. So like the last time there was maybe two elections ago where there was a run for an open seat. I think there were about 7 candidates that ran for the seat. And
Okay.
then the one that gets the most votes wins
Yeah.
and takes the seat. So the idea of the primaries is to whittle down how many people you have.
Makes sense.
Because let's take it to the absurdity. 20 people decide they're going to run for that seat, and it gets so watered down.
Anybody, yeah.
Than anybody, and you do want to get the best people.
Yeah.
So the primaries do allow you to
Whittle it down
yeah,
a little
to
bit.
whittle it down.
Makes sense.
I don't love the idea for judicial races.
Yeah.
But there's some sense to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Again, good luck. What you see tonight is a true reputation of the good guy he is. And FYI, even though my kid will be your best customer in speeding tickets, my endorsement is held forth. That is amazing.
Lisa's great.
Jose, get out of here. Hide your stuff, Luke. Pogo is coming. Jim, best wishes on election day. I'm with Luke and Isaac. You vote for the best candidate for the job and wait till November to cast your vote.
Yes.
Best of luck to you, Jim. Truly the best candidate for the job.
Thank you,
There you
Kim.
go. All right. Well, it's been an hour and 10 minutes already. That's fast.
Went back
Holy
really fast.
This
moly.
has been so much fun.
Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming,
No,
Jim.
thanks for having me.
Good
I
luck.
love it.
Isaac, give our speech. Advertisement.
Thank you so much for watching. Please check out both sponsors of the podcast, Breger Machine and Industrial Maintenance, as well as Valley Insurance Group. Also, MLO Bros stands for Mortgage Loan Originator Brothers. So we are loan officers. Give us a call. I know Luke put his number in the comments. Mine's 330-921-8978. If you want us to help you with a home, a mortgage in the future,
We might
Happily
have
take care
helped
of you.
somebody in this room. I don't want to give.
Can I say that or not?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
If you
Yeah.
want- It's up to you, not us.
So coming in, Luke says, you look familiar, and I said, well, you did our refi a couple years ago, and it had nothing to do with any of
Yeah.
this. He didn't even remember.
I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
yeah.
So,
exactly.
but I can tell you though, the process was so quick and easy.
We're good at it.
We didn't have to leave our home to do it. It
Nope.
was
You
over
don't.
the phone, online. Everything was emailed. Click, click,
Boom, boom,
click.
boom.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah,
going.
keep going. Keep going.
Listen,
I might vote in May. Keep going.
Man, really thinking about becoming a Democrat.
No,
Really thinking about it.
Truly, though, I mean, the process was quick, easy, seamless. Everything happened timely, and we couldn't have been happier.
Refinance.
We got a great rate, so we were
There you go.
Refinance,
Thank
home
you.
purchase. Give us a call. We'll help you out.
Jose, if you have an extra $30,000 sitting around, I
Fireworks
will
are
do
expensive.
fireworks. Give me $30,000. I can't even get. I'm struggling trying to get.
Jose, we'll just use guns and tick off all the Poland people.
Can you bring a bunch of your sheriff buddies out? We'll just shoot guns
Yeah.
into the air. Oh my Lord. Good night. All right. Well, we have to go. Thank you very much. We'll see everybody
My pleasure
Thursday.
being here. Thank you.
Jose, we might need you to show up with a armed escort for the crazy deer people to get us into our office on Thursday. So, all right, Jim. Good luck.
Thank you very much, guys.
We're looking
appreciate it.
forward to seeing you win, and maybe when you're in, we'll have you back on,
I'd be glad to do it. Love to.
and then you could. Wear
Would you
your
like to
robe.
trade a
if I
cookie
lose,
for a
you don't
graham
want to
cracker?
talk to me, right?
Yeah, we'll still talk to you.
Okay.
We're good.
Thank
all
you,
right.
guys.
We'll see you. Bye, everybody.
ya.
Where's our music? Music.
Shirt, classic.
Classic. There we go. Bye.